There you go. And I think we're going to start. It's 6:03, and anybody coming in, I will let you all come in when you sign in. So
Get your
welcome
laptop.
to Tech Labs 2025. I'm Beth Gordon, and I'm going to introduce Pam Doran, who is our tech guru, and I'll give you a little bio about Pam before we start. So Pam has a bachelor's in education technology. She's got a master's in learning and emerging technologies. Pam, you're going to have to correct me if I get this all wrong. I say it every time. I'm like, okay. She's a doctoral student, and she's also a certified educator and trainer. She has numerous awards and licenses, and all in technology-based learning. She serves as a digital accessibility coordinator. It's a mouthful for SUNY Empire State University, right? Okay, digital accessibility coordinator, and she specializes in accessible design. And what that does is it assists people with disabilities to learn and use all kinds of technology platforms. That's currently what you're doing now, and it's really quite an extraordinary thing. So Pam has been working with the Rojan Library as our tech guru for now 8 years, Pam. Gosh, 2025 makes it 8 years, and we're happy and proud to have her again this year for 2025, teaching all of us all the technology things that we just don't know or we need brushing up on. So, guiding all of our technology learning. And thanks for coming to Pam. In case you don't know, or you think you're in the wrong place or the right place, this is library apps that we're going to be talking about today. We'll tell you a little bit later what we're doing in the next couple of months, but this is what today's class is about. So thanks, Pam. Nice to have you.
Thank you. And thanks for the nice introduction. Yeah, all those things added up together means I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
And I'm a nerd that likes to teach. So it's that makes it easy. But Beth is polite. She doesn't introduce me as a nerd.
No, you're the guru. That's my guru.
Guru. Guru's nice.
Yeah.
So today what I'm gonna do, and I think you're spotlighted, Beth. I'm gonna take you off the spotlight.
I'm not sure what that means, but
No,
do I need to do something?
I'll spotlight myself. That's better.
There you go.
Legacy was talking.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we're going to go through apps that are available for free from the library. Some we've presented in the past, and they've been updated or changed a little bit. And these apps do things for you like get eBooks, audiobooks, movies, certain databases for free from home using your library card and your PIN number. So I'm going to go through these different apps and go through the basics of how they can be used. If you have any further questions about how to use these apps, or if you want a hands-on demonstration, the staff at the local libraries are excellent and they know these products very well. So I'm not your only expert. Feel free to bring your devices in, or if you don't have a library card number, if you don't have a PIN. This is a very well supported program and it's a fun one. And one of the things I like the best about it is many of these resources will self-return. So you decide how long you want to keep them. And you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to get this to the book drop. Oh, where's that library book? Or where's that book of CDs? It will return itself. And you do have the option to put holds on. So let's get started. There is a little echo on my end. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can do something to fix that. So try covering. Because I have, since there is, that didn't help too much.
Well, that's better.
A little better, right?
Mm-hmm.
These applications work on your computer and they also work on your mobile device, but they look a little different on both. So you'll see in this meeting, I'm here twice. Pam Doran's here, but there's another Pam Doran on the list. And that little echo you hear is my cell phone. Because at certain points during this lesson, I'm going to switch to my cell phone so you can see what these items look like on a mobile device. I won't be doing it for all the apps, but it's important to see them for some of the more popular ones. And tonight we're introducing Blackstone, which is a new application that is only for the Columbia County libraries. So this is an exciting new item that's been brought to you by your library association. It's new for me too, so I'm exploring it as well. It's very cool. It's very nice. And fortunately, Tammy's here, who's the director of the Rojan Library, and she can kind of fill in the blanks on some of the granular stuff, like how long it could take something out and some of the things that I couldn't find on their website. So let's get started. I'm going to use the Roloff Jansen Library website. Let me just share my screen. I want to make sure I share with sound because there's great stuff on here. Okay, so I'm going to have us look at the Rojan Library website. You're welcome to use this website even if you're from a different library. You can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
But because this is my home library, this is the one I'm most comfortable with. Your websites might be a little different. But on the Rojan Library website, they've designed it very well. But if you scroll down, well, number one, you can see here's that new Blackstone that's here. And a little further down on the site, you'll see here are the different online resources that you have. This here is the database collection, which I'll cover. This is Libby, which is our usual platform for getting ebooks and audiobooks. Also offers magazines, which is nice. Canopy, which is like Netflix kind of, but it has more like educational kind of movies. It's not really, you know, summer blockbusters, but it's wonderful. It's very good. And then there's here Blackstone, which is all audiobooks. So I'm going to start with Blackstone. Is there anything in particular you just want to mention about Blackstone, Tammy, before I go deeper into how to get it? Because it is new.
Yeah, it is new. I mean, you were asking about loan periods. One thing I can say is there are no loan periods. It's indefinite. You can keep things out for a long time, but you can only have 10 items out at a time. So that's your incentive to return stuff. Once you get to that 10, you can't check out anymore until you return one. And it's a new product. It's still kind of in development, and I think the app is going to have some improvements coming along. And it's going to also include some magazines, not audio, but
Okay.
e-magazines within another month.
All right. And is there any unlimited copies? Like, you know, with Libby, there's there's
no, there's no holds.
Okay.
That's why it's called unlimited. You can
Okay.
10 people can be reading the same book at the same time.
Fantastic. And I'm going to start with this one because I think Sharon said she had to leave a little early. And since this is a new one that we haven't presented yet, if anyone else needs to leave early, I'm going to start with this one. So here on the Rojan website, you can click Blackstone Unlimited and it'll bring up this website where you can create an account. Existing account is after you do it. Searching for your library, you don't search for Chatham or Rojan or even Mid-Hudson. You want to search for Columbia County Libraries Association. Okay, so you're going to type that in and search for that. And then once that's there, you're going to add your library card here now. You know you're a real nerd when you have your library card number memorized. And then you will add your PIN. Normally that's a masked field. They don't have it masked, which is a feedback I'm going to give them. So I will change my PIN after this meeting, but I trust everyone here. And then I can create a password. And then you can decide to sign up for a newsletter. You have to agree to the terms and conditions. And I have an existing account, so I'm going to switch to here. Oh, it's on my other account. And now. So I'll save this here. So now I am logged in. I previously had created an account. I just wanted to show you what the create account website looked like. And here we have a hamburger. And when I go there, I can find genres. And this is where I can pick the genre that I'd like to look at. This is a short list. At the bottom is see all. And that's where you can see all of the categories that are available. They also have a search for looking for specifics. And I'm going to go into arts and entertainment music. And here you can see that they have, oh wow, they have CDs. That's really cool. I wonder if Spotify knows about this. Very cool.
So you can take out, you can actually sign
guess-
out a CD and then listen to it on your,
Wherever it sounds like, yeah.
yeah, anywhere, right? Wow. Like
Let's try
on your
this.
computer, or I guess if you take it out on your phone,
Right.
wherever you can plug it in with your headset and you can listen to music.
So I just borrowed it. And if I hit play now, I don't know why I picked punk. Let me return that one because, you know, that's kind of aggressive music there. Let me go back, and I will return these things after I'm done. Let's pick something else. I'm gonna pick an audiobook. Let's pick a Western. Oh wow, I'm still in music. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to borrow it. And you can see it's as simple as that, and I'm gonna hit play now. And I'll just start listening. And once it's done, so this is the desktop.
Blackstone Publishing presents The Desert Rider, a Western.
So it has the ability to stop and start. It does seem to remember where I've left off. So if I closed, it will go back in here. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Libby has, but sometimes that's nice. Sometimes you just want, just do it. Don't give me all these options. So once I'm done listening to this, but I'm not done with the book, over here, it looks like a couple of lines. It's supposed to represent a bookshelf. If I click that, it shows me the books that I have checked out. And Tammy just explained that you get 10 books or 10 items here on the bookshelf. So you can continue listening where you left off. This one's a new one for start listening.
Yeah,
You could-
are these just then audiobooks? So this is not like,
Yes,
okay, so it's only audio.
audio or
Blackstone is only for audio
CDs, yeah, or CDs.
or
And
CDs,
then
right?
here, if you click on the three dots, you can return books from here or audiobooks from here. So when you're done with it, you get it back. And product page brings you back to the main information about the book. So if we scroll down, you'll see there's an audio sample. So before you check it out, you can kind of listen, decide if you like it or not. Gives you the description, reviews, reviewers that praised it. It gives their details, the author's bio, and also the narrator's bio, which is kind of important. You can find out, yeah, what plays they've been in, you know, what kind of awards they've won. So that's, if you end up liking a particular reader, you can click their name. Well, this one's not working on this one here, but on others, I guess, like Tammy said, it's beta. I could see all the other materials they had that reader did, like author bio. That's not working on this particular one. So, and then featured, here's where you can see the featured or the New York Times bestsellers that are available. You can pick unabridged or abridged versions, target audience. And then here, you'll see at the very bottom is the getting started. And this is an information page that explains how to use it. And it also gives you links to get the app on your cell phone. So if you wanted to listen to the books, that like the one I just picked out and I was listening to on my computer, if I have the app and I'm signed into the app, it remembers that book, takes it with me, picks up right where it left off. So I could listen to this book in my home and then say, okay, now I'm going to Hudson, I gotta go to Walmart, whatever. And I'll take my phone, plug it in, and if I start up the Blackstone app, it'll just have my books there and I can listen to it. So it is good. Now, the one thing I'm unclear about, and maybe Tammy could fill in. Oh, wait, here it is, offline or in airplane mode. What does it work? Okay. So yes, you can download like 10 of these books and take it on an airplane with you if there was no Wi-Fi on the plane and listen to those books. Or if you drive into one of our areas where there is for cell service, or if you don't want to use your data. So you can do that when using the app on your phone. So you can do that. And the devices they allow is any tablets, any iPads, iPhones, Android tablets. So pretty much any mobile device will work. Okay, so before I move on to the next app, are there any questions about Blackstone? You can either take yourself off mute or you can type it in the chat.
I have a card from the Millerton Library, so I'm thinking it's not going to work because that's Dutchess County.
That's correct. It will only work. It does what we call authenticate on your library record, and it will check what town you live in.
Thank you.
So Pam, if you're not from, do you have to apply for a card from Columbia County Libraries? Like being in Massachusetts, I don't believe we have a PIN on our library card.
You would have to have a Columbia County. I don't know if there's an additional charge to be a Columbia County.
So I don't know what all libraries do. The Rojan Library, we do give cards to Massachusetts residents with a charge, but it does not give them access to the e-resources because, as I said, all of those authenticate on the town you live in. And since this was purchased by Columbia County funds, it's been limited to Columbia County residents.
Okay, so this is something then we should suggest to our library here in
Yes,
Pittsfield.
you might find it at your library.
Yeah.
If you live in Massachusetts, you could also check the Boston Public Library because you can get a card to the Boston Public Library, a digital card.
Okay, great, thanks.
Excellent. And great questions.
And the same, I guess, Tammy, actually, so if somebody is in Dutchess County, so it's the same thing, it's a cost to them for getting a library card?
No, I mean, they're part of the Mid-Hudson system, so.
But are they a part of this? So
They share in Libby, for example, that's shared system-wide.
Right.
But the other e-resources, the other Canopy, Hoopla, Blackstone are not. They're either county resources or by individual library.
So they can't access this even?
Not unless their library or Dutchess County got it.
Okay, what if they got a card at the Rojan Library? You can't.
It doesn't matter, they live in Dutchess County.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Right, and I did just put the link to this website, so if you want to go to your home libraries and say, I saw this at the Tech Labs, here's the link if you want to copy it or share it with your librarians. maybe you can ask them to contact Tammy to find out more of the particulars about how much it costs or how it works.
Sure.
But it's an interesting new product. So I'm gonna move on next to Sigrid, that's a good question about Password Wizard. I'll cover that at the end. Okay, because I'm gonna stick with our topic, but it's a great question. I will answer it. That was a direct. So here I'm going to show next. Share this out. Is Libby. Now, when I was on the Roloff Jansen homepage, this is where I clicked in order to get this website for Libby. And Libby is the one that's long in the tooth. We've been using this one for a while at the Rojan and also the Mid-Hudson Library System. They have several apps for Libby. There's one for iPhones and iPads, for Androids, and there's a separate one for the Kindle Fires. And it's usually kind of a little bit of a pain to try and get it on a Kindle. I won't be walking through how to get eBooks on the Kindle tonight. But if you have questions on that, I can help you, and anyone in the library can help you with that as well. So the first thing you want to do when you come to this website is you're going to go to the hamburger over here. And you can get the app. Or you can read or listen online using this link here, which is libbyapp.com. So I'm going to show the desktop computer version first by clicking this. And when I click that, I am logged in.
Pam, you're not sharing anything at the moment. There's
Oh,
nothing
I'm not.
screen. Nope.
Okay.
And Marilyn Gross had a question about listening in your car to any or all of the apps. And I think you had said earlier when we were doing Blackstone, you have to download the app for these
Yes.
applications. You download it on your phone and then you can take it with you, plug it
Yes.
in and your headset or whatever, and listen to it in the car. Or
Yeah,
not.
you can use your Bluetooth. So you just use it, if you use your phone to Bluetooth for a phone call, it'll detect it as an audio device. And as soon as you start playing your book or your music, it will come out. It will show
You have
you.
to download the app first.
You do have to download the app first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marilyn,
here
I answered your question.
Yep. Did that answer the question? Yes. Okay. I will show the app for this one after this demonstration. So here at the bottom are a series of icons. This middle one is where I can see my account. It gives you the option of managing cards and adding libraries. Libby, if your library system, either in Massachusetts or and if you're outside Mid-Hudson, Westchester, and they also have Libby, you can stack up your library cards in this one app, which is very, very nice. So you can then search the catalogs of multiple library systems, which is a nice feature. I currently have the Mid-Hudson Library System here. They have settings here for accessibility, navigation, language, and more. So there's quite a few items here you can do. I'm not going to go deep into those. Here, at the bottom, next to the house, is a search feature. And you can search for books or titles here. So I'm going to look for Stephen King. And you can see it starts filling out for you. So I didn't even have to finish the entire. And then it gives me the list of titles available done by Stephen King. There's 5 pages. And here you can see the list of what you might want to look at. At the top, I can sort by eBooks, which is, the digital format ones, or audiobooks. I'm gonna go to books. Okay, so now I have 3 books. Here on the top row, I have borrow, which means this book is available for me to check out. Same here. But this one says place hold. Unlike Blackstone, there's a limited amount of digital copies that can be checked out. It's very much like a real library where they might have 6 of the bestsellers and you put yourself on a hold list. So I'm going to start with, if I wanted to borrow, we like it darker. I can click on that cover. I can see a bigger cover. I can read a review. I can see the pages, what types of books are available, suggestions of other titles that he's written. So I'm going to say, yep, this is the one I would like to borrow. So I'm going to go here, click borrow, and it says I have a borrowing hold time of 21 days. So in 21 days, this book self-returns itself back to the library. And when I select a borrow, I now have it. Here I can choose what I want to read with. Do I want to read it on a Kindle, or do I want to read it on Libby, which is this device? And I'm going to select this device. And you'll see, here's my book. And I'm just clicking with my mouse. I'm just going to, I have it zoomed in. So let's see more. So there's the cover. And just by clicking on the side of the cover, it turns the pages for me. They give some options here on the top of their books. There's some icons here, and I'm going to zoom back in just so it's easier to see. And their zoom is not clicking, and I zoom back out. So here along the top, we have a couple icons. This is your bookmarks. So if you wanted to bookmark parts of the pages, you can click the center here, and it drops a little bookmark in the middle. This is the list of all the bookmarks you've made in a book. So you can bounce around and check your bookmarks. This button here brings it back up. This allows you to search for text within that book, which can be very, very helpful if you're can't remember what chapter you read something, or if it's a book you're revisiting you've read in the past. This here, the A, if you click on it, it gives you the option to change the size of the text. So you can make it a larger text if you need to. It has lighting for bright, sepia, dark. So you can pick whatever's most comfortable for your reading. Sometimes when you're out in the full sun, the bright is best. Sometimes if it's a dark room, sepia feels better on the eyes. The backlit can sometimes be problematic. Okay. And then here's the different fonts that you can pick. So there's legible, scholar, paperback. They offer Open Dyslexic, which is a font that is increases readability for people with dyslexia. And then custom, you can pick a custom font. So you can pick whatever font is most comfortable. The publisher's default matches what the print book had. Okay. And then to drop this down, pull this back and turn it off. Turn it back in the book. All right. Here at the bottom is an annotation tool. So if you wanted to highlight or draw on the book, it gives you those options. You can mark things off with an arrow. So it gives you some options to mark up your book. If you're things that you want to refer to, if you're using this as reference, or if it's something, you know, that's cool, I want to make sure I point this out to my partner or to my kids that I read this. Down here, that will close it. And then by hitting back, it brings me back to, it's funny that the marks stay there in that spot. Here then. Here are my drawings. Here. Okay, now if I'm gonna go back to that Stephen King book that's already checked out. This one here says place hold. And it looks a lot like the same as the borrowing, but if I click place hold, it tells me it's about 11 weeks to wait. There are 4 copies that are available, 20 people are waiting, and 5 people waiting for copy. When I click place hold, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get in the way of somebody else getting the book because it automatically checks out to me. You'll get an email saying, hey, your book is ready. Do you want to click on this right now? And you click on it, it adds it to your bookshelf for you. So you can place holds on books that are not available. This process works the same for the audiobooks. Excuse me. I'm going to go back. Are there any questions on borrowing a book or putting a hold on a book or changing the settings right now before I move on to the next part?
Pam, this is Tammy.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out one thing for people they might not be aware of. So back when you were talking about adding your library, you picked the Mid-Hudson Library System as your library. The Mid-Hudson Library System actually has agreements with several other libraries systems, and you can add those library systems as well. And when you do a search, it will search those systems as well. So we might not have a title, or ours might all be on hold, but they might have one available. So you can add the Upper Hudson Library System, the Mohawk Valley Library System, or the Southern Adirondack Library System. And you don't need a card in those library systems. They will recognize our card.
Okay, so here's Southern. Wow, look at that. And that was easy. And then sign in with my card. I guess I would sign in as a partner library. Wonderful. That was easy. Great information. Cool. Very cool. All right, so that would bring me back to here. Now on their main page, I went straight to the search, but on their home page, you can see a curated list of ideas. So if you're not sure what you're looking for, you can see some of the best books that they have, guides, season readings, and then here, these are the magazines. I love this. It saved me a lot of money. In magazines, if I click on that, here are the magazines that they have available. And you can search for any that maybe you subscribe to now. So I'm going to go down to, let's look at New York Magazine here. And we can see a sample of here. This edition is the current latest edition. You also have the option of looking at past issues as well, which is wonderful. And if I click on subscribe, I now have added this to a magazine rack on my shelf. And when a new edition arrives, I get a notification saying, hey, your latest magazine is here. And I'm going to subscribe to this one. And when I go to my shelf, which is this icon here, you'll see here are my recent loans. So here's the Stephen King book that I checked out. And then here's my magazine rack. And if I click on New York, you'll see that I have the New York Magazine again though.
And are you subscribed indefinitely? So you can get notification of that, of the New York Magazine every time a new issue comes out? And
Correct.
that's indefinite. That won't go away?
Yep.
That's very cool.
Yes, it is extremely cool. And then
Um,
unlike the magazines on the shelf, you can, just like the books, change
Wow,
the sizes, you can change the,
very cool.
see,
Um,
the colors, things like that. And you
Excuse me,
can,
Pam, Susan had a question about speaking about tags. So I don't mean to interrupt where you're at, but Susan Way was talking about, can you speak about tags? Which I noticed that there is uh, there's something on the list when you were looking to take out the magazine, but it could have been anything, says tags. What does that mean?
that's a way to categorize the searches. I'll go back to that one. I'm just gonna finish off here.
Yes, I'm
with-
sorry.
That's okay. If I click article, it makes it into its own digestible article. So it parses out the articles for you. So if you're having trouble reading it, or if you just feel like it's too small, it also gives you the option of bringing this out. And then I hit done here at the bottom. So it lays it out exactly like the type is on the actual magazine that you would find on the rack. But the article feature makes it into one long column for you. Okay, then I'm going to go back and let's talk about tags. And so here under tags, this is like a wish list for you. So there's smart tags. So you can say, this is a tag where it says notify me. This is a tag that says borrowed. So these are tags that are next to the books while you're browsing. Because sometimes you're like, oh, this looks like a good book. I want to check it out. And you're like, oh, yeah, I read this one. And you put it back on the shelf. This is the same kind of idea. When you're looking on the main search, if I were to look at Stephen King, you'll have this tag that says, I've already have it borrowed. So I move along. So
Do you have to return the magazine? Or is
No.
it,
No, it just replenishes with its own, with the new magazine
thank you.
on your magazine rack. And you can still look at back issues. So if you go to the magazine page, and I'll go back to the home page a second. You'll see here, New York Magazine. Here's last month, the month before that, and you can keep going. They just have all the past issues as well. So, as you can imagine, that's a wonderful thing, especially if you have stacks and stacks of magazines and you really do want to keep them because they've been great articles or recipes inside them. You really don't have to. You can take them to recycling. So this is a tremendous money saver. When you think about the things that the library does for a community and saving money, this one's tremendous. And this is page 4 of 233. So chances are the magazine you read and love is here. So just check for it. Okay. And here, you can sort them by the type of magazine. Like here's food and wine. There's 679 of food and wine, movies, culture, literature. So just food and wine second. You can even pick languages. So if you have a language that you speak and you want to see magazines in that language, it's available to you. Excuse me. Close that. So there's the magazines. There's any questions about magazines before I go on to the mobile device?
I think you answered that, but Marilyn had a question about, can you search a given magazine by, for example, author or subject or title or article?
That's a good question. Let's see.
I think I saw you were just talking about searching
Magazine titles.
magazine titles, right?
I
Or
think-
subject. So you get a subject too.
Yeah, you can't do it within this app, and Tammy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would go to like Google Scholar or Google General, find out the name of the article and the you know, what issue it's in, and then find that issue and then try and go down through there. You also have
Yeah.
wonderful librarians that, you know, you can call. Yeah, hey, I need help finding this article. They're very good at that too, and they can help you navigate and find something specific. Tammy, do you know a way that you can search for specific articles? Oh, here, right?
You know, I have never tried it, so I don't know.
All right. Let's try Steve Martin, because he writes pretty crazy stuff for no, so that doesn't seem to work. So I would,
Yeah.
you would find it in here, the art, you know, but I would ask for the help of one of your reference librarians if you want something that specific. And then they could tell you this magazine, this issue, this date, and even what page it is, and they can help you with that. And then you can navigate and find that magazine. That was a great question, by the way. Any other questions? I mean, from here on down, it's pretty much information here. What I am going to show you is the audiobooks. And I'm going to switch back to,
And there's a question of how you increase the font size of a selection. I am assuming the question's about magazines as opposed to, because you showed us about books, so.
yeah, it's the same feature.
Yeah.
The same A is on the top right-hand side for the magazine. And I find that the best way to increase it is to use that article button at the bottom and having it, that one article just fill either your iPad screen or your computer screen or your cell phone screen. I find that easier, especially with cell phones, clicking on article. If you're going to go like this, you scroll through and read an article on your cell phone. It's much easier. Okay, great question. So here at the very top, there's a button that says available now. As I pointed out with this one, you have to place holds because sometimes all the copies are checked out. And if you have like, I need a book to listen to, I've got 30 minutes before I'm driving, and I only want to see books that I can check out right now. You click on available now, and then you can sort these by audiobooks, magazines, whatever's available to you right now. Audiobooks. So you can then be assured that what you're clicking on is not going to say place a hold, place a hold, place a hold. So if you're like, if you've already searched and you're out of ideas, this is how you can make the search, force it to give you things that you can look at right now. All right. With audiobooks, you can see there's tiny little earpods, and it tells you how long it takes to listen to the book in its entirety, which is very helpful. They also have the play the sample feature, so you can make sure that you like the narrator, because sometimes, you know, the narrator can make or break a book. So, for an example here.
In August 1944, the historic walled city of Saint-Malo, the brightest jewel of the...
And this also shows the functions that are inside the audiobook. The play is, you know, how you would start to listen to the book. But to the left and right are 15s with a looping arrow circle. What that does is move ahead or move back by 15 seconds. So say you got distracted, someone came to the door and you didn't get a chance to hit the play button to...
The Emerald...
You're like, oh, what happened? Or your mind wandered. You can use this to go backwards. Or this to go forward by 15 minutes. So if it's like, oh yeah, I'm bored by this, I don't want to listen to this, you can move forward. Up here on the top right is a bookmark. So that's how you can mark where you currently are in the book, or an area you want to go back and listen to again. It will remember, if I were to just play and then close out of this book, the next time I open this book, it will remember where I left off. The bookmarks or for particular areas or making notes inside the book. Here, the little moon, half moon that they have here is a sleep timer. So if you like to listen to audiobooks to fall asleep, you can make a certain fine tune. I was like, in 40 minutes, just turn the book off. Because it's terrible when you fall asleep and you wake up and you realize your book's been playing and you really don't remember where you fell asleep. So this sleep timer is a nice feature to make sure that you can not have the book run away with you when you fall asleep. And then here, this is the playback speed. So the playback speed at one time means it's speaking at a normal cadence that's easy to listen to. If you want to speed it up, you can click any of these items here and they'll speak faster. So for me, when I'm studying and I don't have a lot of time, or if I feel like the person is speaking too slow and I just want the information, I'm not reading for pleasure, I'm reading to gather information, I'll use that feature to move it along so that, you know, a 30-minute item takes only 15 minutes for me to listen to. And I'm originally from the Bronx, so I'm kind of used to fast talking. So I kind of use this feature a lot. So those are the controls inside of here. Does anyone have any questions about the audiobooks or how to use the audiobooks? No? Okay. So next, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to demonstrate. What was that? My cell phone. So I'm just going to share this screen. So let's share. Okay. So you should see my cell phone now. And I have downloaded the Libby app. And you'll see here, my cell phone's in Spanish. Down below, you see it has the little Libby app with the girl with the bookmark in her hair. I'm going to click on that. You can see it's opened up to my shelf. It matches the items that I just checked out. So here's Stephen King. My magazine rack is here. The holds, the loans. And at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see there's the same icons like you saw before. The lollipop, the magnifying glass for searching, the little house for going to the home, the 3 lines for your account, and then the stack of books for your bookshelf. And that last one's the tag, which is the smart tags, if you wanted to get them organized. So I'm going to click on the little house at the bottom. And you'll see it looks very similar to what we saw, just condensed and made smaller. But all of this works here. And if I go to my bookshelf by clicking on the books, and I go to Stephen King, you'll see when I click on the book, it goes right to the page where I left off on my computer. And it also formats it to fit my cell phone. You can do the same thing for an iPad or any device that you're using. So you can move from device to device to device, and you don't have to remember what page number you left off on. And you don't have to remember where in the audiobook you left off on. You just hit the play and it will get you right to that spot. And just like the desktop version, if you look at the very top of my screen, you'll see there's the bookmarks, the search for within the text, and there's that A, which is where you want to look for on magazines, books, any of them, to change your font size. Slide that slider with my finger, and you'll see the fonts get larger. And by tapping in the middle of my screen, just once, poke it. That's how you get all of those, the A, all the tools. If I take my finger and I poke the center of the screen again, it disappears and it's only the text or only the audio that I'm listening to. There we go. So a good question from Sigrid is, do you need to be connected to Wi-Fi to get the book? Yes. To initially get any of these books, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi, or if your cell service, if you have it turned on, that you allow mobile data. But you have to get it all downloaded onto your phone first. And once that's done, you're good to go. You can be offline. You can go hiking if you want and listen to the audiobook while you're hiking and not have to worry about any kind of connection. But to initially get the books, yes, you do need to be on Wi-Fi. Great question. Okay. So I'm going to go back here. So any question on, we have just a little bit of time to cover the last two. I'm going to just drop this call so we get less of an echo. Okay. I'm going to have to share. And the next one I'm going to show you briefly is Canopy. And that's this one here. And by clicking that, it opens up this screen.
Nothing shared.
It didn't go through yet?
No.
Oh, yeah. Did it
There
go?
you go.
Okay.
You're on.
So here's Canopy. And here's Canopy as well. You know, after clicking on that, I get this. You can select add your library card. Continue. Oh, I'm sorry. I already logged in with that. And I will cover that password there. Just put it here. There's still. I'm on my work computer, so I don't have this password saved. But I'm going to explain this briefly because we're running low on time. Make sure I got this. We'll go back to Canopy. So Canopy, after you log in, you have movies that you can click on and watch. It's exactly like Netflix. The choices are a little different. You know, you get more like independent films, documentaries, very interesting movies. You can browse the movies here to see some. And if you have a smart TV, there is a Canopy app on your TV. You can add it just like you would add Hulu or Netflix, any of those, and you log in with your library card and your PIN. You create your account, and you can watch these movies on your TV, or you can watch them on your cell phone or your tablet or your desktop. And for an example of some of the movies, you can see here, Bookshop, Howard's End, storybooks for kids, stories from around the world, popular documentaries that are available, tales from history. Actually, that one was pretty good. Oh, Fitzgerald, yeah, that's happening in my life. Okay. So you can see there's some wonderful movies. So this one's a little 18-minute short film on Ella Fitzgerald. A lot of universities use this to augment their coursework, so that kind of gives you the idea of the type of content that they have here. So it is a wonderful thing to explore. You know, since we're short on time, I'm not going to try and fight with my login. If you have questions about Canopy or any of these items, once again, I'll share my email address again for questions, and feel free to talk to our wonderful library staff as well. Okay. But this takes a bit. The other item I'm going to show you here is under the online resources. These are the databases that you can access with your library card. So they have some online learning. So you can take Coursera courses online, universal classes, digital learn. So you can find information on computer coding, crafting, accounting, artificial intelligence, anything that you're curious about. Coursera has wonderful online courses that you can try and you can explore, sometimes college level and university level. Next, there's languages. So if you've heard of Rosetta Stone or Duolingo and you've been curious to try any of these things, but you're not sure you want to spend the money, you can take these. Transparent Language Online offers a similar product to teach you languages and how to speak languages. There's 110 languages available, and it also offers a mobile version. So if you like to practice your language on the go, you can. News, you can see a historical archive of local newspapers, which is fantastic. So we have the Hillsdale Harbinger, the Rojan Independent, and you can search these. So if you're doing any kind of genealogical searches or just curious about your town and its past, it's wonderful. It's a lot of fun. So you can, read articles about your family or different areas. There's the Register Star. So there's the New York historic newspapers. So there's quite a few newspapers and archives here that you can research and go through. Job and career help, they can practice interviewing. It helps you with resumes. The genealogical resources are available here. Many of them, I think Ancestry.com was one of them, but Tammy, is it true that you could only access Ancestry from a library branch still, or can they do this from home as well? I don't know if that changed.
So to get full access, I don't know if locally, I think the Pittsfield Athenaeum is the best place for accessing.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get New York,
Okay.
stuff. But if you're looking for beyond New York,
It gets
it
placed.
gets expensive. Yes.
There you go. So, but it's an interesting place to start your journey for free if you're interested in genealogy. Again, there's help resources and journals you can come to. And then home access is an even deeper area where you can find more magazines, like the magazines that they offer in Libby are more popular if you're looking for like scholarly journals or different content like that. You can use this to find those items. And there's a ton here. And I'll leave you with this thought. If you haven't tried it yet, the free museum passes are wonderful. They're absolutely fantastic. Some of them you can download and print from home. Some you have to pick up but I went to Mass MoCA and it was fantastic. So you can go to these museums for free or with discounted rates. And I even got a discount in the gift shop as well. So there's quite a few wonderful things here. that you can explore as well. So try these things that are available online. They're a time saver, and when you're just too tired or you don't have time, there's so many chores to get to the physical library. Don't hesitate to try any of these resources. Okay. And then the question about the saving passwords, I do use it in my Google Chrome, and because I like it because it creates that secure, crazy password that I don't have to remember. And then I'm very, very careful with my Gmail password, because that is the one that's the master password word of them all. So once a month, I change my Gmail password, but then my Google Password Manager takes care of remembering the rest of them. But anything with cybersecurity, it has to do with your own comfort level. You know, whatever you feel most comfortable doing is the right answer. Always, when it comes to cybersecurity, because you are the one who knows your computer and your life the best. So I hope that answered that question. Any other questions tonight? Or any thoughts that, things you saw that you liked? That you're looking for?
Pam,
Yeah.
for the museum passes, like
Mhm.
being in Massachusetts, yes, our library has some, but say you want to go to someplace in New York State. Is there like a reciprocity with our library card here to get a pass to go someplace in New York State?
Don't think so.
So, yeah, so the museum passes that we provide at Rojan are also like Blackstone Audio, purchased by the county library association, and they're only available to county residents.
Okay, thank you. And also on the canopy, I just plugged it in on my cell phone.
Yeah.
And it says you get 12 tickets to start with each month, so you are sort of limited to
Mhm.
what you can watch.
Yes,
Okay,
true.
all right, great. And I use Libby all the time at our library, especially for the magazines. You know,
And-
People magazine, which is about $80 a
I know,
subscription.
right?
It's awful.
Right, and you see a lot of the recipes too. It's nice to
Right.
you can like
Right.
bookmark them.
Has anybody found Atlantic magazine on any of these? Oh, really?
Yeah, Atlantic's on there. Yes, save money.
Yeah.
On Blackstone or?
No, on
Yeah,
Libby.
Libby.
Great.
It's on Libby in their magazines. Yes.
They have a payroll higher than Mount Everest.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that's, and what's nice too is like when I went on vacation, I could take 35 magazines with me to read on the balcony,
Mhm.
and a couple library books, and I didn't increase the weight of my luggage at all.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Thank you both.
Yep. No,
Sure.
thank you, everybody, for coming. I just want to say, Pam, well, before thanking you, the next class is February 5th, Wednesday the 5th. We're going to be talking about Google Drive, which everybody needs to learn more about because we're all a little bit baffled by it. And Pam's an expert. So that's on February 5th at 6 o'clock. So mark your calendars. You'll get a notice and sign up.
Great. Okay.
All that. Thanks for
Super. Thank you.
All right, enjoy
Excellent.
eBooks. Oh, there's one more message, and I'm not going to go. If you have any questions, I will be the last one out of here. So if you have any questions, stick around. I'll stay to the last person. If you don't have any questions, thank you for coming, and feel free to
Thanks,
the
Pam.
camera and leave.
Always thank you, Pam.
Sure.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You got it. So, okay, I don't see any questions unless someone's trying to take themselves off mute. I'll unmute everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hit that four.
Thanks,
There we go.
Janet. Janet said another great session.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
You got it.
Pam, what's your email?
Oh, they put it in here again. It's Lori Pam.